Bye bye to the CFPB Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Or will it? It's starting to look that way. Jedediah Collins here with the Money Vehicle Movement podcast, where we're trying to make financial literacy more current and possibly even a little cooler. The CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, commonly called CFPB, was at the center of attention this past week as its new acting director, Russell Vought, told the agency's staff to stop working and go home. Well, to many people, that may seem like a fun early vacation or maybe a fun Wednesday off. It's not going to be so fun when we continue. The CFPB's job, which we talk about in Chapter 2 about protecting the consumer, that being you, me, and everyone we know as the consumer, their job is to protect us as consumers from unfair financial practices such as predatory lending and even scams, which we, of course, address scams in Chapter 8 around cybersecurity. So if the CFPB is being shut down, it means that we're less safe than we were before. There's no longer a police or a guiding or a security system watching out over us. It's a long, complicated story as to why the CFPB is in trouble, but suffice it to say that the Trump administration and many Republican lawmakers aren't fans of the CFPB. They regulate banks, they regulate payment apps and other financial businesses, and can cost those companies a lot of money or at least add a lot of red tape around their operations. But it also plays an important role in making sure that bad actors in the financial industry don't get too far, that they're identified and that they're punished, and that we can warn consumers like you and me again about them even being there or what they're doing. The agency itself was created in the wake of the housing crisis and Great Recession way back in 2010. Well, maybe that doesn't seem that long ago to some of you. It was also created along with a bunch of other laws meant to more closely regulate the financial industry. You got to remember, 2010, we're not too far out of the banking crisis and the Great Recession. For those of you who were too younger to remember the Great Recession, the whole thing was kicked off by lenders making bad or predatory home loans. They gave people money to buy homes even when they knew those people couldn't afford to buy a home. But these loans were backed by the United States government. So the lenders made the loans, collected their fee, which is where and why all of it really started was, hey, keep selling if you're making money. And once that fee was transferred, paid, the loan was originated, then we let the government or taxpayers deal with the fallout when it all eventually collapsed. Remember, a predatory loan is one you are giving that you are not anticipating to get paid back, but you're pushing that payback on now the United States government. In recent years, the CFPB has been fairly aggressive as well. It's passed rules like making sure that medical debt doesn't get included on your credit report. That aggression has ruffled some feathers, so it may be that some people are happy to see the CFPB on a tighter leash. We don't actually know what happens next, and in this day and age of decisions and the economic world and our political system, we are all excited to wake up and see what has happened. The CFPB is not dead yet. It needs to exist by law. Only Congress can pass a new law or repeal the old one to make sure it goes away for good. That has not happened. But what is interesting is that the agency has done a good job and is generally liked by a majority of Americans. Again, most people are consumers looking for a little protection or at least a warning. In fact, over the past 15 years that the CFPB has existed, it has saved consumers, me and you, over $21 billion. $21 billion when you compare that to its cost to be run of operations, less than $1 billion per year. So it's saved over 20, it costs less than $1 billion to operate. It's pretty effective and efficient from that stance. With that in mind, this may simply be political gamesmanship The CFPB may revert back to a normalcy at some point, but is being hamstrung for other reasons. We'll need to wait and see how things shake out. But again, the main point is that by defanging the agency, taking away their power and their reach, consumers are less safe than they were 2 weeks, 2 years, or 2 decades ago. As such, keep your head on a swivel, keep fighting the hackers, keep identifying predatory practices, and keep managing your money buckets. We look forward to seeing you at your next stop, and enjoy the day.